ShotokuTech News of the Week, bringing you news stories that you might have missed because there were other news stories. You're watching ShotokuTech News of the Week, 23 May 2020 edition. Over 400 fossilized human footprints provide a glimpse of ancient life in Africa. This is in Tanzania, and it represents the largest collection of human prints ever found in Africa. These date back approximately 10,000 years. By analyzing the size of the footprints, the distance between the steps, and the orientations of each print, the researchers could make out individual trackways. They could infer things like relative body size and perhaps even the sex of the individuals. Footprints in soft substrates are often wiped away by natural processes, but this was captured in volcanic ash that was still wet, and it dried. It hardened almost like concrete. This appears to be an episode of 17 individuals, and they theorize it's 14 adult females that were basically foraging while they were visited by 2 males and a young male, and this is a similar behavior that's been observed throughout the history of this culture. This is a positive note. NASA lays out Artemis Accords for responsible moon exploration, and I think we all need to get more familiar with what's actually in the Outer Space Treaty that's been ratified by over 100 nations. So obviously NASA, with their Artemis program, aims to be on the moon in 2024 and establish a sustainable human presence by 2028. So they're discussing bedrock principles that foreign partners will have to abide by. This will be done on bilateral agreements based on the Outer Space Treaty of 1967. Space exploration should be conducted for peaceful purposes only, and that's the core of the Artemis Accords. Transparency. There will be a requirement to publicly disclose exploration plans and policies and make scientific data available. The ability to extract and utilize resources on the Moon, Mars, and asteroids will be critical to support safe and sustainable space exploration and development. So the Artemis Accords reinforce space resource extraction and utilization. Another OST tenet, prevention of harmful interference by one nation in off-Earth affairs of another. That's an interesting statement there. Specifically via the Artemis Accords, NASA and partner nations will provide public information regarding the location and general nature of operations, which will inform the scale and scope of safety zones. Notification and coordination between partner nations to respect such safety zones will prevent harmful interference. And that's in Article 9 of the Outer Space Treaty. So, like I say, I think we want to study up on this Outer Space Treaty to understand where things are headed. So it appears the North Pole is moving from Canada to Siberia, and it's been accelerating recently. The magnetic field is generated by swirling liquid iron deep inside the Earth. The blob under Canada elongated east to west and divided into 2 smaller blobs. And perhaps because of this change, the pole is shifting towards the Siberian blob. In October 2017, the North Magnetic Pole crossed the international date line. Between 1990 and 2005, the magnetic poles jumped from a historic speed of no more than 9 miles per year to as much as 37 miles per year. Here you can see the track. So, an ultra-rare species of blue bee is found again in Florida, and it's been years since they were last seen. The Florida Museum of Natural History researcher Chase Kimmel found a blue calamintha bee on March 9th. It's the first time it's been spotted since 2016. We observed a shiny little blue bee grabbing and rubbing its head on top of the portion of a flower 2 to 3 times. This behavior is unusual and unique characteristic of the blue Calamintha B. We were pretty shocked to see it. Well, welcome back. Well, I didn't know it was missing, but apparently the moon disappeared 900 years ago, and scientists have just come out with a theory as to why. So the moon disappeared from the sky in the year 1100. It's believed volcanic activity tossed ash high into the sky and obscured the view of the moon. So people were concerned in the year 1100 that the moon appeared to disappear. A description of the event written in the Anglo-Saxon Peterborough Chronicle paints a crystal clear picture of what observers saw when they gazed skyward. On the 5th night in the month of May appeared the moon shining bright in the evening. Afterwards, little by little, the light diminished, so that as soon as the night came, it was so completely extinguished withal that neither light nor orb nor anything at all of it was seen, the account reads. And so it continued nearly until day, and then appeared shining full and bright. All the night was the firmament very clear, and the stars over all the heavens shining very bright. The moon, it appeared to those who observed it, disappeared and then reappeared before their eyes, while distant stars remained bright and luminous. That's certainly an odd phenomenon. Researchers were able to draw a link between this sighting and an increase in volcanic activity, confirmed by ice core samples and tree ring data. There were volcanic material deposits that settled between the years 1108 and 1113, pointing to forgotten volcanic activity. Material shot skyward by a volcanic eruption can remain aloft for years, producing what is called stratospheric aerosol veil, made up of tiny particles that would have obscured the dim glow of the moon while allowing bright starlight to penetrate it. This is a bizarre dinosaur discovery in Australia. Yes, this young Jessica Parker found this vertebra of this rare Elaphrosaur. The Elaphrosaur lived 110 million years ago, and this location in Australia indicated that these dinosaurs were able to survive in pole-like conditions. These are theropods, and they're related to the Tyrannosaurus rex and Velociraptor and modern birds. They're relatively scarce, although a lot of their fossils might be misidentified as other types of dinosaurs. They like to eat ancient platypus, insects, and fruit. Congratulations on the find. Researchers are trying to model interesting mud volcanoes on Mars. They're finding that when they bring mud to freezing temperatures, it crusts over and then the liquid mud comes up from deep below. Some of these features were likely built by sedimentary volcanism, or mud volcanoes. They aren't nearly as dramatic as their igneous cousins. So they built a special Mars chamber that had a vacuum and was able to cool to below minus 30 degrees Celsius. They couldn't exactly replicate the conditions of Mars because they can't allow for Martian gravity. The mud quickly froze and started building up like soft serve ice cream, creating uneven ropey piles and forming lobes. Mud volcanoes on the surface of Mars might allow a similar phenomenon to occur. This video is the last known footage of the Tasmanian tiger, or thylacine. The National Film and Sound Archive of Australia has digitally restored this video of this last known thylacine, or Tasmanian tiger, named Benjamin. Benjamin passed away in 1937. Congratulations to Moose. He receives an honorary doctorate from Virginia Tech. Moose is a therapy dog who works at the school. He's employed by the school's Cook Counseling Center. Moose has been with the school since 2014 and is one of 4 dogs serving, working as a therapy animal and ambassador for mental health awareness. Moose previously received the Animal Hero Award in 2019 from the Virginia Veterinary Medical Association. Congratulations, Moose. This is an interesting development. Scientists find a single off switch that can dampen multiple pain centers in the brain. Scientists at Duke University have discovered a small region of the brain in mice that can be leveraged to turn down pain activity in more than a dozen pain-promoting centers. This raises hopes of a highly efficient therapy that would just target a single population of cells. General anesthesia can fire up a set of inhibitory neurons in the central amygdala, a brain region considered to be the control center for negative emotions. Pain is a complicated brain response. It involves sensory discrimination, emotion, and involuntary nervous system responses. Treating pain by dampening all of these might be difficult, but activating a key node that naturally sends inhibitory signals to these pain processing regions could be more robust. Now this is an interesting discovery. Astronomers discover the oldest disk galaxy hiding deep in the cosmos. The light from this galaxy took 12.5 billion years to reach us on Earth, which means it formed about 1.5 billion years after the Big Bang, in the earliest days of the universe. Using the Atacama Large Millimeter Submillimeter Array, or ALMA, the team found the galaxy while they were studying bright light from a distant mammoth black hole known as a quasar. Some of the light was absorbed by the galaxy on its way to the Earth, revealing that it was hiding in the dark of space. So they used data from the Hubble telescope to discern more about its features. Previous studies have hinted of the existence of these early rotating gas-rich disk galaxies. Thanks to ALMA, we now have evidence that they occur as early as 1.5 billion years after the Big Bang. They've dubbed this galaxy Wolf Disk. The current understanding of galaxy formation proposes huge invisible spheres of dark matter provide a skeleton for gas and dust to fall onto. The infalling of hot gas and dust creates huge disks that we're seeing dotting throughout the cosmos. And these disks form stars at a very rapid rate. A galaxy such as this one is estimated to have a mass that's around 50 to 100 times more than that of our Sun, and it appears to be forming stars exceptionally fast. Previous theories have reasoned that these types of cold gas disks should only appear around 3 billion years after the Big Bang. So when we talk about cold gas, we're talking about that Bose-Einstein condensate that I've mentioned a couple times in the past. This is that dark matter. So astronomers are starting to get their heads around dark matter and how it forms galaxies and how those galaxies form stars by collecting hot gas and dust on these dark matter cores. David Lynch is premiering this animated short Fire, or Pozar. He announced this back in 2015 and it really hasn't been available for viewing. Now it's on YouTube. Thanks, David. This is a collaboration between David Lynch and this Polish-American musician Marek Zabrowski. Marek basically provided the soundtrack for this video without any direct instruction from David Lynch. The whole point of our experiment was I would say nothing about my intentions and Marek would interpret the visuals in his own way. So I say it was a great successful experiment and I loved the composition Marek wrote for the Penderecki string quartet. I thought it was a very melancholic film in a certain sense, and also very poetic, Zabrowski added. Without trying to be too explicit, I tried to illustrate further what David was doing. Look for the link down below to the YouTube video. Check it out for yourself. Astronomers believe they may have just witnessed the birth of a planet. They're observing this young star, AB Aurigae. It's 520 light years from Earth. And there's a massive disk of swirling gas around this star, and within the arms of this swirling gas they've detected a twist. So this critical twist is located about as far away from AB Aurigae as Neptune is from the Sun, and they believe that this twist marks the spot of a new planet forming. Thank you for watching ShotokuTech, News of the Week. Thank you for watching ShotokuTech. Please subscribe, comment, like, and share.